r/askreddit. What's the cruelest prank you've ever seen?
A friend of mine had a crush on his co-worker. It was sort of an open secret. His manager tried to help him, offered advice, some things to say, small gifts she might be into, etc. What no one knew at the time was that said manager and said co-worker had recently started dating and hadn't told anyone yet. So he meant it as a prank on his new girlfriend, to be put into these awkward situations, but my friend's feelings were really hurt when it all came out.
Wow, that is some Class A assholery right there.
Emo if the manager was dating a co-worker whom he supervised, along with actively engaging in this type of shenanigans, he should be fired or at the very least demoted.
A group of girls at my high school told a girl that they were hanging out at one of their houses at 9 near a train station, but they really just made up a time and place that would make her stranded at the last train stop with no more trains home.
In middle school, a girl came up to us on the playground and told this dude to go see the principal. He's looking for you. He got a call that your mom died. Then, as soon as the dude ran away, she told us all she just made it up. It was effing horrible.
A similar thing happened to me in high school, but it turns out another woman with literally the same name as my mother died. The real weird part was when my mother, a funeral director at the time, had to fill out her death certificate with basically her own name on it.
Saw a guy tip over the port. Potty with someone in it. That memory is clear. I think it was his girlfriend.
This was a popular prank at UK music festivals in early 2000s. Not sure if it still is. Shitty way to ruin someone's weekend, literally. Peeing in bushes and holding in a crap for 3 days was an easy choice.
A friend of a friend in high school had her boyfriend pretend that he'd died. He had one of his friends call her saying he had died in a car accident and had someone else calling up pretending to be a doctor from the hospital. She was hysterical. Later that day, after she kept asking the fake doctor which hospital it was so she could be there, she found out it was all prank to see if she cared. Horrible. Anyway, they broke up. To this day, it's the nastiest prank I've seen in person.
My ex-friend thought it was a funny prank to kill my brother's hamster and tie it up and dress it in ridiculous ways.
I remember reading somewhere, probably on Reddit, that someone as a kid had a friend over who was a compulsive liar and was trying to convince him he had super speed. To prove it, he said he was going to throw Original Poster's hamster as hard as he could and then go catch it before it hit the wall. Needless to say, a few seconds later, Original Poster is standing there shocked as his hamster was flattened against the wall and immediately died. The kid apparently tried to play it off, but when the mother came up and saw what happened, she told him to leave and that he wasn't allowed to come back. I genuinely think we really need to watch out for kids like this. Kids that care more about being funny and impressing other kids than about the life of an innocent creature. Either they genuinely don't know that it's wrong to kill things, which is horrifying, or they do know but care more about themselves, which is also horrifying.
Sadly, there are a lot of kids who don't understand boundaries in families, fail to set up protocols for when friends come over to visit and injure, /hurt/kill a family pet, especially small and delicate critters.
When I was a kid, somehow my classmates found it funny to piss in other people's cans of soda. I did not have a good childhood.
When I was in elementary school, some boy came back from the restroom, said he couldn't wash his hands because there was pee in the soap dispenser. Somehow a kid had gotten it open, peed in it, and put it back into the dispenser.
I was once prank called by someone, a classmate presumably, and they told me they were going to kill my best friend who was in the same class as me. It was really effing weird. The school never figured out who it was. They just asked if my friend had any enemies. Bro, we are 11.
DBA, I had far more enemies at 11 than I do as an adult. Kids are assholes sometimes.
I have 0 enemies at 27 and had at least 4 or 5 at age 11. 18. Kids are definitely assholes.
In high school, someone made a pipe bomb and sneakily threw it into a metal trash can. One of my friends unknowingly walked by when it exploded and blew out his eardrum. The trash can looked like a peeled banana afterward. That person was ratted out and expelled.
Seen a video of 2 small girls? One told the other to look at the doorknob really close as it distorts your face. She then slammed the door right into her face, hitting her teeth.
If you're missing teeth, as 8-9-year-olds tend to, it's really effing easy to break shiny new adult teeth. Source: a large dental bill.
When they gave that raccoon the cotton candy, bastards.
For context to anybody who doesn't know, raccoons, apparently, wash their food before eating it, and these guys gave a raccoon a piece of cotton candy and the raccoon washed it for it to disappear into the water. This is one cruel world we live in.
It's sad, but they gave the raccoon multiple pieces, and on the third or fourth piece, it didn't wash it. So he got a nice snack in the end.
The Daddy-O5 YouTuber pranks. Those weren't pranks. They were child abuse.
If I recall correctly, all of those kids have been placed with competent and caring relatives since then.
Just Cody and Emma, the usual victims. The biological children are still with them.
A friend of mine faked her suicide to get back at her boyfriend for April Fool's Day. I had helped her without knowing she was going that far. Her boyfriend had called her a slut and dumped her when she told him she was pregnant. Don't miss living in college dorms. Don't miss either of them.
They sound like a lovely couple.
I put meatballs in the tube for the ice maker, so when my roommate went to get some ice, his glass filled up with meatballs.
You got meatballed.
When I was in 8th grade, a thing called turtling and zip-tying backpacks were popular. Well, one day early in the year on the bus ride home, a kid decided to zip-tie a 6th grader's backpack to the leg of the chair, which is welded to the floor. When he got up to leave and realized his backpack was stuck, he started panicking trying to get it undone, and eventually had to leave the backpack, and he was stressing out saying his mom was going to freak out on him. He looked like he was about to cry.
I remember this bullshit. Someone did something similar on my bus. Bus driver pulls out this knife and cuts the tie. She then looks around at everyone and says that if it ever happens again, she is parking the bus, and no one was leaving until someone admitted to being an idiot. That was the day we learned the bus driver had a knife and didn't F around. Everyone behaved for the rest of the year.
My bus driver just yelled at the kid to hurry up and get off the bus.
I don't have a specific example in my life, but I've always thought those fake lottery tickets are cruel. Those people think their life is going to change, and then it's all yanked away from them while people laugh. Same energy as when a parent gifts their kids something in the box for an iPad/Switch/something expensive and fancy, but it's really something shitty and lame inside. The entire joke is, you thought your dreams were coming true, and then they didn't.
Saw a kid at high school cafeteria spend 20 minutes removing seeds from jalapenos and chopping up the seeds until he had a handful. He walked over to a different table and threw the handful of sliced up seeds into the eyes/face of another kid.
Sounds more like assault than a prank.
Kid didn't even get in trouble at all. Was between two skaters. The other guy had to leave school that day, but never ratted, and the payback was a nut punt from behind. My high school was crap.